Hey there, team. It's Melina Dixon, and this is Monday Night Live, and I'm 15 minutes late, but for good reason. I got a little distracted by an episode of This Is Us, and then I decided that I wanted to use BeLive.tv tonight so that I could be live and so that I could share my screen as well. So that's what's going on. So tonight we are going to talk about, there's three different hats you can wear in your business. And one is the player hat. The next is the cheerleader hat. Woo! And the third is the coach hat. So this is going to be a 3-part training series. And tonight we're going to focus on the player hat. So I'm going to give you guys tips and tools to be the best possible player that you can be. So think of our team as like a football team or a baseball team or a soccer team. And the success of the team comes from everybody doing their part. So the same is true in Pink Zebra. So being a player is all about working your personal business. So whether you have a team or not, your personal business is the most important part of your business. And here are some, just a few things to think about. So you need goals. Goals are super important in your business because if you don't have goals, then what exactly are you working towards? And the other thing that you need in addition to goals is you need to be accountable to yourself. So, this is not a 9-to-5 job. I'm no one's boss. I can't fire you. Not that I'd want to, but, if you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, there's Alpine, then it doesn't hurt me. It only hurts you. So part of being a good player is being accountable to yourself. And I get it. Sometimes it's hard. There are times where I say, this is what I'm going to do this week, and it doesn't always work out. That's just life sometimes. But that doesn't mean that I let myself slack week after week after week. I've got to do the things that I say I'm going to do if I want to keep moving my business forward. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of goals that you can consider for your business. So the first is front loading your calendar. So what I mean when I say front loading your calendar is when you're looking at the month, putting the bulk of your parties and events in the first half of the month. So if a host needs to reschedule, or if an event gets rained out and it's going to be a week or two later, you've got the first half of the month that's where the bulk of your parties and everything are going to be. And you've got that last half, hey, Monique, that if something does need to reschedule, or if a host cancels and you need to find a new host, you've got time in the month still to do that. So that's what front loading your calendar means. Another thing that you want to consider, and this is probably more geared to people who don't have a day job to go to, but it can still relate even if you do have a day job. Front loading your day. So when you either wake up and you're getting ready to work your business, or in my case, when I get off work and I'm ready to kind of dig in, doing those big tasks that you need to do for the day, doing them as early as possible. I personally am a procrastinator. I know that about myself. And sometimes you just have to tackle your toughest task first to get it out of the way, or you won't get anything else done. So another thing that you want to do or have as a goal is to keep your opportunity goggles on. So opportunities are everywhere. And I'm going to give you a little example. So I had a vendor event on Friday night, and I won't say it was awful, but I won't say it was great either. I sold 2 jars of sprinkles. You guys saw my setup. It was adorable. So it's not like people, were like, oh, her booth is ugly. It's just the way it worked out. But I made some really good contacts, and I woke up this morning and had a friend request from another vendor that I met there. And she just had sent me a note and said, hey, it was so great to meet you. And we had talked a little bit about her product when we met, and she invited me, to join her VIP group. And I was like, why not? I like her. I don't have a consultant that sells that particular product, so why not? And something inside of me said, you should talk to her about having a party. And I am pretty picky about the parties that I host, because I have so many friends that sell, the same product. I have so many customers that sell the same product. So I just don't ever want to make anyone feel bad if I'm not hosting for them. But I was thinking, I don't know anybody else that sells what she sells. So I proposed a party swap to her. So I had my opportunity goggles on. I'm going to get to introduce my friends to a product that they've probably never tried before, and the same for her. So that's what we're talking about now. She and I have the messaging. So that's having your opportunity goggles on. That's, when you are talking to a friend or to a customer, hearing not their hearing their problems, but hearing their problems in a way that if you have a solution, you can provide it for them. So someone's saying their house smells. We have a solution for that. So just always be listening and always have your opportunity goggles on. All right. So the next goal is that you should be spending the majority of your time on your personal business, which I would say the majority of us are probably doing. But I know when you have a team, even if you just have one team member, it gets a little tricky. You get kind of caught up in, what your team member's doing and what you should be doing to help. But in all reality, probably 80% of your time that you're working your business should be on your business. And that 20% is to answer questions and to be a help to your team member. And that's something I've got to tell myself because hey, Tiffany, because it is really easy to get kind of caught up in what other people are doing. And also for me, feeling like, okay, there's so many of, we have a lot of people on our team, and making sure that I feel like people are getting what they need. I mean, in most cases, people are going to come to me if they have questions. So I can take the weight off and just focus on my business, growing, my customer base, booking parties. I don't have to work everybody's business for them. So keep that in mind as you're growing a team. It's great to be in touch with people and be there, let them know that you're there to answer questions. But at the end of the day, they got to do their part themselves. We can't work for them. Okay. So I challenge you guys, I'm pointing, I challenge y'all to at least 4 parties a month. Now, I'm going to talk about the easy peasy 2-step in just a minute, and that's a little different. But I'll say if you're interested in growing a customer base, growing a team, having consistent sales, getting to a place where you're selling 400, 500, 1,000 or more on a regular basis, parties are the way to do it. And 1 party a week is a really good place to start. Now, if that's not your goal, that's okay. or if it is your goal, but you can't necessarily make that work right now, totally okay too. That's the beautiful thing about direct sales. You know, there are plenty of months that I have a sales goal that I hit doing it not necessarily like a conventional way. You know, I might, okay, let's take, what month are we in? February. Okay, I don't even know how many parties I have this month. Let me go look. Because I feel like I don't really know what day it is sometimes. Let's go to the parties report so I can see what I've closed. Okay, so I had 1, 2, 3. I had 3 personal parties this month. But I've had sales from the new catalog, you know, customers reordering. I had customers ordering that watermelon bundle, and I have almost $1,500 in sales in. So I didn't necessarily do that one party a week. I wish I did, of course. I'm in the process now of adding more parties to my calendar for March because I have some pretty big goals that I'm working on. I'm working towards my next promotion, and I'm not going to meet new people who want to join my team until I meet new people who want to try my product. So yeah, so it can be done unconventionally, but one party a week is an awesome way to build some consistency. All right. So let's talk about some player tools. Yay, tools. Okay, so especially if you're new, but even if you're not new, a really awesome tool is your Frank list. Let me see if I can. Yep, I'm going to bring my screen on to, yeah, I pulled my screen up. Okay, so let me go. I'm trying to make sure that I guess you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me go click to something real quick and make sure it changes. Okay, cool. I did it. This is my first time sharing my screen on BeLive.tv. So where does the Frank list live? Well, okay, I have absolutely no idea where it lives. We'll find it though. I'll find it and I'll post it in our group. But while we're here, I was going to talk about the Easy Peasy 2-step. All right. And just for fun, because I can you guys still hear me? Even if I, hey Carmelita, hey John, can you guys still hear me? I gave the, gave my screen the solo just so you guys could see it. But I want to make sure you guys can still hear me. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Hold on. I'm going to make this work. This is going to be amazing. Ha! Share. I did it. I did it. This is difficult. Okay, I did it. All right, so here's your Easy Peasy 2-step. So as a consultant or an executive consultant, your Easy Peasy 2-step is 2 parties per week, 2 bookings per party, 2 customer calls per day, 2 sponsors per month, and it says 2 fundraisers per quarter. But this is actually going to be updated because we no longer have our fundraising program. Alpine, please stop. Thank you. Leave the room if you're going to be itchy the whole time. So I talked earlier about, one party a week. Well, Pink Zebra's Easy Peasy two-step actually challenges you to have 2 per week. So John's question was, what's a good way to get parties booked? You know what? The best way to get parties booked is to ask people to have a party. And I know that sounds like for real. Yeah. So here's what I did when I was brand new, which was like a million years ago. So I joined Pink Zebra. I booked my launch party and I started to invite people. Not everybody could come, so I had another party. You can have as many launch parties as you want. I actually met somebody from a direct sales company that they recommend their new people have a launch party every single month for like the first 6 months. So it's totally okay if you want to do that. So I invited people to that second party if they couldn't come to the first party. I, got the products in front of new people, either giving them a sample or meeting up with them to sniff our tester zone. When it seemed like they liked what they saw, then I was like, hey, why don't we get some of your friends together so that they can learn about Pink Zebra, and you can get free and half price items as the host. And I don't want to say it's that simple, but when you don't put any pressure on people and keep it feeling very like, this is fun, it's casual, I think it works. I really do. I can't think of a single time where I've had to like really convince someone to have a party for me. I feel like the majority of people, they see our catalog or sniff our products, they like them, and then they either want to make a purchase and host, or make a purchase or save some money and host, or join our team. So that's just how I've always done it. I just have never had to like twist somebody's arm behind their back. So I think just doing what you can do to make sure that people are I guess being exposed to your product. So if they don't know that you sell Pink Zebra, then you got to let them know so that they can, sniff it, see it, try it, and then, of course, fall in love, and then want to get their friends together so that their friends can learn about it too. So that's where your friend list comes into hand. It comes in handy. So if you haven't made one yet, it's not too late. I actually need to make a new one. I'm getting ready to start reaching out to people that I have never talked to about Pink Zebra, which is like making me a little scared. I don't know why, but it's just, it's just one of those things. You think, oh, well, if they want to try it, they would have contacted me, but not necessarily. They might be sitting over there going, man, why hasn't she like introduced her business to me? Like, why haven't I gotten a sample of her products? So I have to like totally take me out of the equation. It's not about me. It's about them. So yeah, I'm totally working on my frank list, and I'm working on my frank list. And this is Monday Night Live, and I'm 15. Oh. I feel like we're having technical difficulties, but maybe not. Okay. All right. I just wasn't sure if no one's watching me right now, so I got like really scared that my broadcast was like broken. Okay. Anyways, so frank list. Make a frank list if you don't already have one. Even if you've been around, make one anyways. And that's kind of like your checklist. So you go, all right, my friends, 10 friends. All right. I messaged Susie to say, hey, I'd love to get your opinion on Pink Zebra. Can I send you a sample? And Susie says yes, or Susie says no. And then If Susie says yes, then you get her a sample, and then you follow up and say, oh my gosh, what did you think? Did you totally love it? And she'll be like, actually, yeah, it smelled really nice in my house. And then you say, well, I'd love to invite you to my next party. Or you could, if she really loves it, say, well, why don't we get some friends together at your house so that you can check out everything and you can earn some free and half price items based on, the party total. So hopefully that helps, even though nobody's watching you right now. Okay, so once you move into leadership, manager or higher, the easy peasy two-step changes a little bit, but I'll be honest with you, I still think that even though it says 2 parties per month here, I think you should still be shooting for 2 parties per week. And the reason I say that is because I should still be shooting for 2 parties per week. Of course, 2 bookings per party, and then 2 personal coaching calls per week. That's something that I definitely need to integrate. I chat with team members all the time, like my personal level 1 team members. People will message me with questions, or I'll message them to say, hey, good job. But I don't actually pick a dedicated time to connect with somebody. And that's something I want to do. 2 sponsors per month. That's something that I've been fairly consistent with, which is good. 2 team trainings per month. Well, I'm ahead of the game because you guys get like sometimes 5 team trainings a month because we have our Monday Night Lives and our team meeting. So we're good. And then it's a goal to have 2 new executive consultants per quarter. So yeah, okay. There's still nobody watching me. That's okay. All right, let's get back to some other player tools because I have, I haven't been on here 30 minutes yet. So that's good. All right, I'm going to remove that. And it's just me. Just me. All right, so in addition to your Frank list and, reviewing that easy peasy 2-step, ZebraNet in general is actually a really important tool because there is a wealth of information in there. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love, oh, I'm frozen. Okay. This is fun. This is why I don't use BeLive.tv on a regular basis. I feel like it hates me. Okay, so, man, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, there's a wealth of information in ZebraNet. So you've got the resources tab, which is your best friend. And what I was going to say is I absolutely love when you guys ask questions in our group. Like, you have no idea how much I love it. And maybe I should start sending people like digital stickers whenever they ask questions in the group, because I think learning as a group is a really awesome thing. Because if you have a question and you ask it in the group, there's probably at least one other person, but probably more people who have that same question. And so you're actually bringing the question into the light, and the person is getting a ton of different opinions or ideas from that question. Because, there's not always one answer for every question. Because sometimes it'll be like, hey, what do you guys do about this? Like Joy Santos asked, I think yesterday, what do you guys do with your testers? And, what I do with my testers might be different than what somebody else does with their testers. So I love when you guys ask questions in the group. And I think, you know what I'm going to do? All right, this is a campaign promise for March. I am going to start, well, maybe just March. We'll see how March goes. When I see a really good question asked in our group, one that I know is super beneficial to other people, I'm going to make note of that. And at the end of the month, I'm going to give somebody a prize. So now please don't be like crazy and ask questions all day long, like nonsensical questions. But when you have a question, instead of messaging me or messaging your sponsor, ask it in the group. Unless it's like really personal, then please don't feel like you have to do that. But if you have like a, where do I find this in ZebraNet? Or what do you do about this? How do you do this? Just for March and maybe beyond. But like, let's just think about March right now. Ask in our group. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. That's what I'm going to do. And it's going to be awesome. Okay. So, something that you guys have to decide on. It's your decision. This is one of those things where there's no right or wrong answer. You have to decide how you're going to manage your customer follow-up. So I'll actually post a link in the comments after I hop off here. I did a very, very, very basic, like less than 5 minutes little demo of my Evernote app the other day and put it on the YouTube channel. I'll share that so you guys can see how I'm doing my customer follow-up. But there's so many other things you could do. I've seen people get like a little index card box and use an index card system. You can actually, I wish I had it with me, but it's in the living room. You can get these cute little binders. I may have shown you guys on a video recently, but these really cute little binders that have little clear like dividers or like pocket things. And I know some people who use a binder system for their customer follow-up. So there's so many different options. You just have to decide what's going to be right for you. But that's definitely a super important tool in your business, because following up with your customers is an awesome way to give amazing customer service. I know we've talked about this before. It's a service that people who are buying wax from Walmart and Target and Bed Bath & Beyond, they're not getting customer follow-up. So super important. All right. Okay, so we talked about ZebraNet and how awesome that is. You know, another really awesome resource, and I'm not saying awesome because it's my brainchild, but our YouTube channel. I know I'm not the most perfect video creator. I'm not the best. I don't know why it's not letting me click on things. I'm not the best public speaker. I'm not the best video editor. I'm not any of those things, but I have made videos for you guys that I think some of them are helpful. So that's a super awesome resource. That's like basically our own Sprinkle Divas library. And there's, you know, tons of videos on there, and I'm always taking the suggestions. I'm also always thinking about the things that you guys are asking in the group and how, okay, maybe that should be a video. So that's a really powerful player tool that you guys have at your fingertips. Okay, so I think that's it for tonight. I am not going to keep you guys much longer, actually any longer. I'm going to start to sign off. I'm going to go load my dishwasher and get back to my episode of This Is Us. But if you have any questions, comment below, or what are we going to do? We're going to post them in the group. I mean, you can start posting now, like even though it's not March 1st. I'll be keeping an eye on the questions that are happening in the group. I want to see some good ones. And that, you know, for me, I love sharing. I love telling you guys the things that work for me in my business. So can't wait to see what questions you guys ask. But yeah, so have a good night, and I will let you know when I will do part 2 of this training, and depending on how long, how much information I have for the cheerleader part, we might combine the cheerleader and the coach. I'll let you guys know, but we definitely have, we have a guest speaker coming next Monday in our group. So, and next Thursday. That's exciting. Yay. Okay. Well, you guys have a great night. Hopefully this was helpful. And I look forward to chatting with you guys all soon. Bye.